All right. What has been your best day? Because I like to leave like, on a high note. If you can remember, what has been your best day dollar wise as a notary that you can remember?
That I remember,
Yeah.
I'd probably say closer to like 1800 in one day. It was a snow day. That's what it was,
Oh.
because no one wants to work on a snow day. So I took everybody's work. That was fun. That was fun.
Oh, that's dope. All
Yeah, and
right.
that's loan closings. Loan closings and general notary work. Yeah.
Hey guys, have you had a chance to get a copy of my new book, The Ultimate Ron Guide? If you are ready to build a remote online notary business, then this book is what you need. In this book, I give you all the information that you need to know in order to build a successful remote online business, no matter what state you're in, as long as your state authorizes remote online notarizations. Head on over to Amazon today and get your copy. You'll be glad you did.
Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Super Mario Brothers. JK. Okay, so good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Not morning, it's afternoon. Unless you're in California or on the West Coast, and I think it's still morning over there. First of all, what's up, guys? How are you doing? Are you happy? Are you content? Are you enjoying the sunshine? I think everywhere right now currently has sunshine, but that's it, period. I'm in Florida. So if you guys don't know by now, you should know. I am in Florida. I'm expanding my brand in Florida. Hey, happy Sunday in Florida. And so if y'all don't, this is what I figured out, right? I think that everyone that is in Florida, they know that Florida is amazing. Do you know? I went to the most beautiful beach today. I mean, listen. The beach was the water. Okay. Anyway, I think people that are in Florida don't tell people that Florida is so beautiful, so no one else comes. That's what I think is happening. I think they're like, shh, don't tell anybody. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's okay. Shh, we're just gonna stay here. Because I always think, oh, Florida has beaches. Oh yeah, cool. Honey, that water was so blue. It was a blue I've never seen before. And I've been to Costa Rica. Now, Costa Rica has amazing beaches. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And it was like big waves. And I'm all for big waves. Okay, listen, all for big waves. Anyway, so I'm expanding my brands into Florida, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're going to talk about you. Yeah. And so this conversation today, I want you to talk to me. I want us to talk to each other. So this is like, I'm your best friend. You're my best friend. Let's talk about what's going on with you and in your life, because we're trying to figure out how do we get you from point A to point Z now. Okay. So this is 2023. We're in the last quarter of the year. So you got 4 more months to really push it and accomplish the goals that you set in January. Now, how many of you guys set some really big goals for January? I did. Okay. How many of you guys set some really big goals for January? And if you were to like be honest with yourself, where are you with those goals? Do you feel like you're accomplishing them? Do you feel like, do you feel like you're making excuses? And it's like, oh, well, all these things in life happened to me, and that's why I didn't get it done. Where are you on your goal list? Okay. And I decided to do this because I've been really working on self-development, and starting Tuesday, we're doing our morning motivational, inspirational mindset calls. We used to do them a lot before, but probably 2 years ago. I think it's when we were doing them a lot then. So we're kicking those back off again. Because one of the things I noticed, especially with entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, is that you can learn a skill set all day. But if you don't learn the mindset to match the skill set, you're done. You're done. Okay, you're done. It's not happening. Okay. And so I thought about that, and I'm working on myself. I'm working on my brands, and I'm out here like building in Florida, and I'm meeting a lot of people. you know, a lot of people. And what I'm noticing, and this is in every industry, I know people who go like really hard and they have a lot of success. And you have people in the same industry that are like, are doing barely nothing. And then people that's in the middle is like doing a little bit of something. And it's just like, I start to think about like what they all have the same skill set, the same product or service, but what causes the person that's excelling to excel? What causes the person who is not to say failing, but failing to fail? And what's causing the person who's just like skating or like just barely staying ahead or keeping, you know, just basically staying afloat to be in that space? And to me, it boils down to mindset. Like when I'm talking to people, I can tell like where their mind is. And it's tells that people have when you start talking to them, and you know, like if they're really going to kill it or if it's like, oh, you got a lot more growing to do. So I'm going to give you definitely some books that I would encourage you to read that have helped me kind of just change my mindset about, you know, myself and entrepreneurship, because really the only thing that's holding you back from being successful is yourself. You know, and a lot of us, we have really big goals for ourselves, and most of it's monetary. Like if I ask you right now, which I'm going to ask you right now, like what was your goal for this year? Like how much were you planning to make this year? Are you coming close to it? Are you, you know, really far away? You've already started making excuses about why you're not going to hit that goal, or, you know, or did you hit it already? Like that's going to dictate. And a lot of times we make excuses and we say, oh, life happened in the economy. Guess what? Bill Gates still made his money. You know, and not even going that big. Like people that is like middle class, in the middle, not even like billionaires, they still made their money. So like never, I feel like when people make excuses about the economy, like especially in the notary space, I get people all the time that reach out to me and say, oh, well, can you still make money in this space? Can you still, you know, be a notary? What are you talking about? Of course you can. What are you talking about? Like that makes no sense. You know, as long as notaries are still a thing, as long as they're still legally, legally have a position in this government, then yes, you can still make money. But if you're asking me, are you going to have to work for it? Like, is it going to be easy? It's not going to be easy, and you are going to have to work for it. So what are you doing? You know, and I can always tell, not even kidding. Like, and if you're one of the people who ask me that, don't feel bad. It's the truth. Whenever someone comes to me and they say, well, how much money can I make like right now? Like, not like that. Like they like, how much can you guarantee I'm going to make? I'm not guaranteeing you anything. And I always say this, I say this all the time. I say, I can't guarantee you anything. I don't know your work ethic. I don't know what time you get up in the morning. I don't know if you go to the gym. I don't know if you eat healthy. Like, you might say that's not important. Oh, it plays a part, right? Like, I don't know, like, when you quit. You know, I don't know, like, what things will tick you off that will make you say, oh, that's enough for today. Like, I don't know your habits. You know, I don't know who you hang around. I don't know, like, your customer service level. Like, it's a lot of things that I don't know. And I can teach you a skill set all day, but if you have bad habits and you have poor habits, you're not going to be successful. You know what I mean? If you have low self-esteem and you go out to a title company and someone gives you a hard time and that's all it takes for you to quit, then you're not going to make it. You have the same skill set that someone else has, but you have self-esteem issues that's going to cause you to not be successful. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that come together that plays a part into people who are successful and who are not successful. And I'm really starting to understand that concept even more, because everyone, like, you can learn a skill set. How many of you guys, this all the time, how many of you guys know a realtor? Like, at this point, everyone knows like 1,000 realtors. Like, you know at least 2 or 3, right? Put that together with like you and 50 people, like y'all know 1,000 realtors, okay? So everyone knows realtors, right? But most realtors do it, well, a lot of realtors do it part-time. They have a full-time job, they do it part-time, or they do it full-time, but they're barely making it. Like they're like still pay, commission check, or they're doing decent. But you don't see a whole lot of $1 million real estate agents. And it's funny because, not throwing shade at all, I don't throw shade. I speak facts. Okay. I was looking at this post, trying to make it as vague as possible. I was looking at this post, and it was like this contest, and they were talking about like how they had done really good. They had sold over like $1 million. Was it $1 million? No, like, was that $1 million? It was either like, I think it was $1 million. Like, oh, we made $1 million in residential sales, and they were like really excited about it. And I was like, that's cool. But that's, you didn't get $1 million in commission, you know, like you still got a percentage of the commission. I said, I feel like if I was to be a realtor, you know, I want my contest to be, I made $1 million commission. There's nothing wrong with having that as a goal, but I feel like it's levels to it, you know, and I feel like if you put yourself around people who have certain standards they live by, you're going to tend to stay in that area. So for example, if you're around people who are like, hey, all you got to do is make like $5,000 a month or $3,000 a month or whatever it is, like the average income median for your area, that's pretty much where you're going to stay, because you're like, oh, well, that's the average. We tend to be like what we're around. And so I'm really, really a big proponent of expanding your friend circle, expanding your wherever you go. And you might say, well, Vanessa, it's not that serious. I promise you that it is. So very first thing that you should be doing, especially if you're looking to become an entrepreneur and you have never been an entrepreneur before in your life and no one in your family's been an entrepreneur, then honey, yes to the Mario Brothers, then honey, you need to absolutely go change your friend circle. Okay. And I was talking to somebody, Gracie. And I was telling her, I was like, there's no reason for you to have friends that are not entrepreneurs. Like, I'm not saying to cut them off. I'm saying the majority of your time needs to be spent with people who are entrepreneurs, even if they're not in your same skills, in the same industry that you're in, because they're going to teach you things. It doesn't matter what their product and services. Everyone has taxes. Everyone has accounting. Everyone has sales. Everyone has marketing. Everyone has the same main tiers in business. That's the next thing. A lot of you guys come into this space and you're not running it like a business. You're running it like a side gig. And that, I hate when people say that. That's my side gig. That's my little side hustle. And it's just like, I mean, let me say something. Okay. I can see if you're like Jeff Bezos and you're like, oh, I got a side hustle. It makes me like $10,000 a month. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Right. That's probably not even a side hustle with him. That's probably like nothing. But if you're working like, what's the average salary? Hold on 1 second really quick. Okay, so if you're working like a job, like let's say you have like a regular 40-hour 9-to-5 type job, and you're getting, what's the average median, guys? I don't know. Maybe like 50,000 a year, or maybe you're making like 4,000, 5,000. I don't know, like a pay period, like a month, right? And then you say, oh, I got a side gig, and this side gig pays me like $500 a month, right? Not to say like you can't acknowledge. I mean, that's not to say it's a bad place to start. Okay, cool. But to me, I feel like you should set your goals higher. And like when you say side gig, it makes it okay that you only make $500 a month. But if you say, hey, this is my bread and butter, this is my second income stream, this is my business, even saying that, this is my business. Like, this is not a side hustle, this is not a side, this is my business. If you say it's my business, then it kind of puts you in the mindset, okay, but if it's a business, people that will not even classify, or like people when you're talking in the business space, if you're not making at least like 100,000, 500,000 a year, you know, you're not really a business. This is like a little hobby that you're doing. You know what I mean? And so like, it's like you have to start, if you want to level up in life. Oh, that was perfect. Look at that. Level up. Okay. If you want to level up in life, like you have to start taking your life seriously. And most times people are not. Like, if you got super excited for this weekend, like you were like, listen, it's Labor Day weekend, and you weren't excited about it being Labor Day because half y'all didn't even know what Labor Day weekend stood for. I'm just saying. So you weren't really excited about the holiday itself. You were more so excited that you get an extra day, not having to go to the job that you don't like. You follow me? If that was you, nod your head, say that was me. That's a problem. You know what I mean? If you're like, you're so excited for an extra day of not going to work, like that's what you're happy for, you really got excited. Think about that. You didn't get excited for the holiday itself. So say for example, Christmas. People get excited for Christmas. They get gifts and family comes over. Oh my God, right? Y'all did not. You had a cookout. Maybe you had a cookout, right? But most people just get excited because it's an extra day. Like, it's an extra day that you don't have to go to work. Seriously? Like, think, what kind of quality of life is that? I feel like a lot of people think that that's normal and like, oh, that's a good thing because, you know, I don't know what's happening in people's lives. I really don't get it. I don't get it. I used to be that way though. I did. I used to be that way. And now I'm just like, not just me, but I'm surrounded by people who actually enjoy what they do. And they're working their own business, or even if they work a job, it's like they're, you know, they do anything they actually love. Like, it's something they're passionate about. You know what I mean? And so if you were really excited for Labor Day, honey, you got one more day. You got Monday. Then what? Then what are you going to do on Tuesday? you're going back to work. You know what I mean? And so it's just like, it's really important that you find things that are important to you, that's something that's going to light up your being, yourself. That's going to be like, you know what, I really enjoy this. And it may not be notary, but maybe it's something that will like, that you could use notary as a catapult, like a, what do you call it? Like a little avenue to get where you're going. Famous story is one of my students who got started a couple years ago, and they got started as a notary, and then they used that money and they did a food truck. So it's really up to you. If you say, okay, I don't want to necessarily be a notary full time, like forever, but I do want to use it to get me to my boutique or to my mechanic shop or my whatever else you may want to do. Okay. But you clocking in every day at a job that you don't like, half the time it's not going to bring you the results that you want. More than half the time, it's not going to bring you the results that you want. And that's just honest. You got to be really mindful of your time. You know, that's 40 hours a week at minimum. Not to mention, like, I have people that be like, you know, nothing wrong with, I'm not saying that you cannot have a job. You can. What I'm saying is your quality of life should be more important. You see what I'm saying? Your quality of life should be more important. And so you have to start thinking about your time here. You know, I did a whole video talking about the American, what I call the American nightmare, which basically was like people, yeah, see, and then you can do my hair. Look, I did a whole video about people who were working like regular jobs, 9 to 5. You go to college, you get college debt, then you get a job from like 20s up until like, when do you retire? Like 50 or 60 years old. And I said, by the time you retire at 50 or 60, you're not trying to go climb mountains and go scuba diving and all that stuff, because you and your arthritis want to go sit down somewhere. Okay. And so really, it's a really bad deal. You know, you're giving like the best years of your life to an organization or corporation where your C-suite is going to be out there living their best life, and you're basically just giving all of your life away. And then when you turn 60 or whatever that retirement age is, right, you get a portion of your check, and now you're like, and maybe Social Security, maybe, fingers crossed it'll still be there. You know, they keep saying it won't be there. And like, by the time I retire, that's what they say, was I don't retire because I love what I do. And it is what it is. But if you're big, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the math doesn't math. It doesn't make sense. And it's to me, it's just like the idea, and it's so funny. There's this documentary. It's a movie in movie form, but it's it's based off a real life event. And it's called, who saw it? It's about what happened with the 2007, 2008 market crash with the houses, with the mortgage-backed securities. Did you guys see that? It's like, what's it called? Something coming up short, something short, banking short. I can't even think what it's called. It's on Netflix. But I love the way they did that movie, because it was so crazy, because it was another person in the financial space that did a YouTube talk. He was talking about mortgages, and he was talking about how mortgages were never a thing. And then even when they decided to make it a thing, it was nothing like what it is now. Like, you can get a mortgage and pay it off pretty quickly. Now, most people are the way it's designed, if you get a mortgage, most people will stay in that mortgage the rest of their life. From the time that when you get it, if it's a 30-year mortgage, not to mention if you refinance it and you do a bunch of stuff, you're going to end up staying in it your whole life. That's not the way it was designed to be. But it's just funny, because the people that are in charge are just creating all these things. Student loans was not the way, college was not the way it was designed to be. But people will just keep putting things in place to like, oh, we can do this and we can do this. And like, oh, let's sell them stay with us for 30, 40 years. We'll give you a retirement package. We'll give you pension. We'll give you this. And we'll give you $1 raise every year. Like The Big Short. That's what it was. You know, it's just like, it doesn't make sense, you know. And I tell people, and I used to be that person when I used to work a job, and they're like, oh yeah, in 6 months you'll get like a 50-cent raise. Oh my God. Right? I told somebody recently, they're like, yeah, I got $1 raise next year. Not $1. Ooh, you get a whole, you get a whole $1. You get a whole $1. Look at that. 365 days, you get a whole extra $1. Look at that. Like, what do you think about it like this though? You got an extra $1 for a whole year, right? An hour, right? What if you took that whole year and increased your skill set? What if you learned a trade? What if you learned a skill set that could be more beneficial and more profitable to you than $1? Most people, like, you see what I'm saying? Most people don't do that. And they bank on people not doing it. You know, I guarantee if everybody got that mindset of, I don't know what happens to the economy, and I get that, but you're not everybody. You're you. Okay. So thinking about you right now, what is your current job? If you're not full-time entrepreneur, you work a job. I'm pretty sure at this point, right? You work a job. Do you love your job? Do you like your job? Does it make you happy? Are you financially good? Right? If you love your job, you like your job, you're financially set. And I'm not saying like people, y'all didn't get, I'm telling you something. Look, honey, some of you guys have been so programmed to accept less that you have convinced yourself that your paycheck to paycheck or a little bit over pay to paycheck is okay. You've been so programmed to say, okay, my one vacation a year for 3 to 5 days is okay. This is all I need. This is normal. This is pretty standard. When it's not. Okay, clear that up. But being who you're around, they have set this culture around you that says, hey, yes, you only travel once a year. I remember a prime example. I was talking to a homeschool family. Well, I was homeschooling. We were just transitioning into private school, and we were trying to be one to private school. And I was talking to one of the families, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do private school because we travel a lot. And I'm worried about the attendance policy. And the lady I was talking to said, well, yeah, we travel a lot too. So I get that. And I was like, yeah. And I'm concerned about the travel policy. And she said, well, can't you put your trips in the summertime? And I said, no. She was like, what do you mean? I said, I travel a lot. Like, I like to go somewhere at least once a month, you know, at minimum. And she's like, her face was like, I promise you, I blew her mind. It was like, how is that even possible? But I knew in her mind that it was like, wait, what? You know, and people are so like, if you're not exposed to it, then it's like weird. And it's like, oh, everyone travels in the summertime, you know, when everything costs more and it's crowded and everyone's there. Like, why would I do that? You know what I mean? And so, but you have to think about the other thing I always say is whatever everyone does is usually wrong. Okay, so if everyone's doing it, it's usually the harder way to get it done. Okay, but that's why I always say the biggest thing I think makes a major difference, one, is who you're hanging around. Really big thing. Exposure is everything. Okay, exposure is everything. Number two, okay, figure out what you want to do. So what's your skill set? What's your business? What's your plan? Figure out what that is, learn from the best, and then massively execute. I mean, massively execute. You know, I think about like what I'm doing. Like I was having my meeting with one of the coaching students, and I said, yeah, I'm out here, and this week, so last week and this week is like my major, like massive networking. Like I said, then it was funny because she lives here, and she's like, I don't really go out. I haven't really gone these places. And I was like, but it's not necessarily her. It's more so like, people don't take massive action. It's like this, I don't know if you think about it and then you decide not to, or if the thought never passes your mind. But I love taking massive action. So for example, with the notary industry, like you guys know, I'm doing out this in Florida. So I have my client base that I want to, hold on one second, guys. Okay. Honey, come on. If you haven't read the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, but I love Joe Dispenza. He's the best. He talks about the same thing that you're talking about. Okay, I'm trying to read your comments. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get somewhere too with this. Did you guys get the golden ticket that we put out this morning? And I'm gonna tell you about that too. But let me get back to where I was. All right, so next thing is to get your skill set down. So that's another thing that's really important. You pick a skill set, you get the training. First of all, click the link I just put in the chat. Go get the golden ticket. It gives you all 18 of our courses. And I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit because it's so much bigger than that. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. today until midnight, because at first we had it trickling, but I had some people were emailing, they was trying to keep that 129 because it passed. I moved the 129 until midnight. So you have until midnight to get that 129 for all 18 courses. But I'm going to tell you something else, okay? But first, before we get to that, skill set and then massive action. So me being here, I've joined, since I've been here, I've joined the Chamber of Commerce. I've joined one co-working space pending another networking group in, what is this? A week and a half? 2 weeks, maybe? 2 weeks? Okay. I've made a lot of connections. I think this one that's really big, but I've also started networking. So like I put out so many feelers and I have like a list of places that I'm going to be going this week. I already did some last week. And it's really just like, how bad do you want it? You know what I'm saying? And it's not even like I'm going crazy. It's just like I'm making sure that I'm going where I need to be. Like I already have a list of realtors, title offices I'm going to hit that's in this area. Like it's just, and I'm going to go and like just walk in all of them, like, and just get my numbers up because the numbers game. You know, but some people like are in this city, and our students of mine have not done that. So then I have to say, okay, well, what's the difference between me and them? What would you say? I honestly want to know. What do you think is the difference between me and someone else in my same city or somewhere else, period, that's not executing? Like they're not going out. They're not making the calls. They're not doing the emails. They're not building. What would you say is the main difference? If you're that person, then answer. What is the difference? Why are you not performing? Like, seriously, ask yourself, why am I not? And I'm not saying it in like a bad shame on you. It's like, really think about it. Why am I not? Is it because I'm comfortable where I'm at? And people like to say, oh, I'm not comfortable. Honey, listen, if you were truly, truly uncomfortable, you would fix it. You can be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, okay? You can be comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. Let me explain. For example, if you, let's say, don't like your weight, you can be overweight, right? Not liking your weight. You can stay there. You can be comfortable in that uncomfortableness because you're not changing it. Now, let's say there's a certain weight. If you hit that, you are no longer comfortable. Now we got problems because I can't be that. You can be this. It was uncomfortable, but you can be that. But you can't be this, okay? For example, you could also be this, and then you can go to the doctor, and the doctor can give you a bad, like, oh, you're pre-diabetic, you're pre-hypertensive, whatever the case is. And that to you might say, oh, no, I'm uncomfortable with this, so let me change my weight. You see what I'm saying? You can be, for example, again, you can be uncomfortable. You can be comfortable in your uncomfortability with your finances, okay? Wherever you are financially, it may be uncomfortable, but you're comfortable with it. And you might say, no, I'm not. Oh, but yes, you are. You know how you know? Because you could be here, right? Consistently. You're comfortable with this level. And then something happens. Your car breaks down. Someone's got to pay for something. Someone got sick, whatever the case is. And now you have to find more money because something else is now an emergency that you have to take care of. And you're no longer comfortable at this level because something is making it uncomfortable. So now you find more money, which you could have done before, but you just didn't do it because you were truly comfortable here. You didn't like it, but you were comfortable here. So once it became uncomfortable, you had to go find more money to take care of that other thing, which now puts you back in a state of comfortability, even though you didn't really want to be there to begin with. And now you keep that same pace. Does that make sense? Okay, because if you were truly, truly, truly uncomfortable, you would have fixed it. You follow me? Tony Robbins always says, we don't get what we want, we get what we have to have. We get our standards. Whatever your standard is, like whatever that is, you get that. Prime example, how many of you guys say, it was so eye-opening to me when I learned this, okay? A lot of us have standards with the people that interact with us. And we say things and we say, oh, people have to treat me this way, treat me this way, treat me this way. That's all nice and dandy, but that's not true. Your standard is however people actually treat you that you keep in your life. That is your standard. Now it sounds good. Oh, my standard is here. But if you allow people to treat you whoever is in your life. Now I'm not saying somebody just walking in and cursing you out and walking out. I'm saying whoever's in your life normally, okay? However they treat you, and you're allowing them to stay in your life, that is your standard. Do you want me to prove it to you? Okay. Say you have a friend, and that friend is just like, she's rude, or she says things to you don't like all the time, but you kind of hang out with her, but whatever. One day she walks up to you and she punches you in the face, like whole punch, bloody nose. Oh, right, you lost a tooth. Not saying that y'all won't get to fight after that. After that, she's pretty much going to be out of your life, right? For most people, right? Because you have a standard, and that standard is you will not walk up to me for no reason and punch me in my face and make me lose a tooth, okay? That's a standard that you have. However, you may allow her to be rude to you, or to say little things, or like shoot down your dreams, because that's not your standard. But your standard is you won't punch me in my face. That's a standard. Because once someone actually passes that standard, you remove them. But if you keep them, then they are your standard. People, listen, let me say something that I learned. People will always treat you the way you tell them to. Even if you don't do it verbally, people will always treat you the way you tell them to, okay? That's why you can, like, even you treat people differently. There are certain people that you can laugh with. You might have little girlfriends. You're like, hey, you might say the B word to them. It's like real casual. Hey, girl, right? But then you have people that you would never say that to, ever, because they're not playing that game, right? No, sir, and no, ma'am, okay? For example, my mother, I would never. Why? Because that's a standard she set. The standard that she set was you would never. And so because she set that standard, I don't go past it. You follow me? But if one of my girlfriends are like, oh, it's a standard that we have. So remember that people will always treat you the way you told them to treat you. And you tell them through your actions. If they're still in your life, you told them it was okay. Period. Get over it. You did it. Now go through your friend list and your family list and figure out, oh my gosh. And then think about it. And think on the people that are in your life. Don't look at the people. Look at how they treat you. And then realize that that's your standard. And if it's not where you want your standard to be, then fix it. It's not about the person. It's about the standard that you set. So if you have people in your life that are treating you in a way, look at how they talk to you. Look at how they treat you. Look at what they do to you. It's not the person. It's what they're doing. Don't worry about the person. Look at the act. And then say, okay, these are my standards. Am I good with this? Okay. If I'm not good with this, then you need to make new standards. And once you start making new standards and sticking by them, people will either adjust or they will leave. And that's okay. But now you have new standards. You follow me? Okay, good. Anyway. All right. So let me get back to this golden ticket. So I was journaling today. And I was just writing down a bunch of thoughts in my head. And I started thinking about this new chapter in my life. And since I've expanded to Florida, I've had so many people like this. Some people were like scared for me, nervous for me. And honestly, I was fine. Like I'm okay. If it doesn't work out, cool. I can go back home. I'm really not pressed. Okay. Because I realized there's so much more to life. But when I was journaling, I started thinking about where I'm going and what I want to grow and who, it's just so much happening right now in my life. And I started thinking about that. And I realized two things. One, it doesn't matter how many trainings I give you. It doesn't. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How many of you guys have any of my courses? Any? Like Ultimate Notary Bundle, Notary Signing Agent Training, E-Notary Training, Government Contracting, Business Credit. Come on, which ones do you have? You might have Tax Financial Management. Maybe you did the apostille and fingerprinting training. It doesn't matter which trainings you get. It doesn't matter which trainings you purchase. It doesn't matter which trainings you take. Yes, you take a training, but it doesn't matter. I realized that. One, a lot of students buy the courses, take the trainings, attend the live events, and they do nothing with it. Nothing. You think I'm kidding? I'm going to show you. You ready? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. And this is when I truly realized it's never about the skill set. It's never about the skill set. It's always about the mindset. Always, 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 always. It's never, ever about the skill set. Okay? I'm going to show you something really quick. I'm going to show you how many people bought courses, the percentage of people who bought courses and who have never opened them. Now, the average, because I've done research on this, the average is about 10%. I usually like 10%. It's like 10%, I think, will actually engage and do the work. The rest won't. Okay, so let's look at it. Let's just look at y'all. Like, don't tell on me. I'm not going to say who. All right, let's just look at the ultimate. That's the ultimate title. Let's look at the ultimate bundle or the notary signing. This is notary signing agent. Okay, so hold on. I'm looking for the completion rate. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to tell you. I want to do like notary signing agent bundle. That's what I'm looking for. Hold on. So I want to just get notary signing. I'm going to tell you exactly how many people actually finish. Well, that's not bad. So like 56%. 56, a little over half. But I want to see who's actually never opened it. There's always like people who never, there's a lot. I'm looking at a bunch of them, but I'm looking for notary signings in general. Like a lot of people have never opened it. And I thought about that. There's this guy, I was listening to his content, and he was saying that people get excited in the moment. They get excited in the moment. It sounds good, but then they go back to their habits. They go back to their habits that they've always had, and they go back to their family. They go back to their friends, and the idea of being an entrepreneur, the idea of changing their life, the idea of doing something different was exciting. It was fun. It was amazing. But they have so many other factors that stops them, that cripples them from actually changing, and they go back to what they were doing. And it's like 10% of people will actually change, will actually implement, will actually go forth, and I just thought about that. So I said, what makes the difference? What truly makes the difference? Like, I feel like I see a difference, like Gracie, when we did our coaching, I felt like that was different because she was able, like, we were able to look at her life. Like, we were talking about like eating, we were talking about her time in, like habits. Your habits make a difference. It really does. Different things we're able to really dissect. And it really goes down to your mindset. If you're someone who is negative all the time, people might think that doesn't make a big deal, but it does. If you don't feel like you can be successful at this, you won't be. If you feel like, you have fear issues, people are looking at you, you're intimidated about everything, then you probably won't be as successful. Like, unless you can be afraid and do it anyway. If you can be afraid and do it anyway, then you'll be good. But as soon as someone says anything to you, you cripple up into a ball and you get afraid, that's a self-esteem thing. And that's something you can work on. I used to do that. That's a self-esteem thing. That's something that you could actually work on. But how do you guys actually work on fear? Honestly, do you work on fear? What are you in terms of business? What are you afraid of? Period. What are you afraid of in life? That's fun. You ready for some fun? What are you afraid of? Honestly, what are you afraid of? Do you work on it? Do you face your fears? Write that down. Some things you're afraid of. Are you comfortable being afraid? Like, are you good with that? Especially if you have fears that are stopping you from being successful. How many of you guys have a fear of public speaking? Okay. A lot of people do. They equate public speaking to like fear of death at this point. How many of you guys have fear of public speaking? What's your plan to fix that? Or are you good with it? You gonna keep it? You good with that? You just gonna stay scared? You gonna do that? You have to ask yourself, am I settling? Am I settling? When I first started teaching for notary, my class size was like 10 to 20 people. I did a post about this, and I would be terrified. Listen, look at me. Terrified, okay? When I would get to the classroom, I'd get it all set up, and I'd get the kids together. Because at the time, I didn't really have a babysitter. It was crazy. I'm telling you. When I tell you, I had to work hard, okay? I had to work hard. I would set it all up. People would start coming in. I mean, like 10 people would come in, and I'd be like, on the inside, oh my God. They didn't know, but I did research. I looked it up. I said, okay, when you're talking, what should you do? And one thing I do when I talk is like breathe. And it was like, slow down, breathe, take time to take breath. You might feel awkward, but usually because you don't realize when you're taking time to breathe, it actually is slowing you down to be regular. Right. So I would actually study like I would read and watch YouTube videos about how to face my fear of speaking. How many of you guys do that? How many of you guys actually go practice public speaking? You have friends and family. You can practice with them. Maybe go into like co-working spaces, anywhere. Another thing that I did when I was listening to someone who was like fear of speaking, they said, whenever you go into a public place and someone asks for a volunteer, to break the habit of public speaking, immediately raise your hand. Don't think about it. As soon as they say, anyone in the audience wants to raise, as soon as they say there's anyone in the audience, raise your hand. Make it like a reflex. I do this now till this day. Okay, but when I first started doing it, I would throw my hand up there without even thinking, because if I thought about it, I would make myself not do it. The very first time I did that, I never forgot because I was terrified. It's probably like 4 or 5 years ago. I was at my daughter's karate martial arts competition, and they were asking for parents to come up to the stage and to do like a demonstration. And he said, can we get something from the crowd? I raised my hand without thinking. I was terrified. My hand was the only one up, okay? And he said, great, that was fast. Come on up. I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine say that. But now I can't back out because everyone's looking at me, right? So I'm like terrified. I'm walking to the front. I get up out in the front in front of everybody. And then he's like, all right, we're going to do these workouts. Not only am I scared, you want me to work out too? So like I'm doing like these things. But he was like, come on, guys. And everybody cheer me on. And I did it. And like probably like 20 seconds into it, I was actually having a good time. But if I did not throw my hand up there, I'd be like, oh my God, what is he next for to do? And you start panicking. But I do this literally all the time. I did it again. Like I do it all the time. Whenever someone's saying, but that was something that I practiced. I said, okay, I want to stop being afraid of public speaking. I got to start doing something. So when you think about those things, what are you putting in place to change those habits? You follow me? And you really got to start, it really boils down to your mindset. It boils down to your habits and your mindset. And if you don't change your habits and your mindset, I can give you the classes for free. I can go out and sit thinking right now, everything's $0. I mean, it's based with $129. Like, if you don't have $129, like you can go get that, okay? $129, you get all the courses. I can make all those courses $0. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change anything if you don't change. It literally will make no difference. Hear me. That's what I came with this morning. It literally makes no difference. Okay? For most people, it's not the skill set. It's the mindset that's going to stop you. So getting the courses is great so you can learn the skill set. But how many of you guys have gone through the courses and you learn the materials and you're still not executing? I got a lot of those. I know, because we talk all the time. And they email me. I did the courses, but I'm scared. My point. It's your mind. It's your mindset. You guys have got to put plans together to fix that. You literally have to do that. And, I'm going to be doing those morning calls, and I'm hoping that's going to make a difference. So we're doing the morning calls Monday through Fridays, 7 to 7:30 Eastern Standard, for about 30 minutes. And we just talk about mindset, self-development, things that you need to be doing to work on yourself. And I say it all the time, success is not something that you get. It's something you become. And your 2023 is going to be exactly like your 2024 if you are the same in 2023 and the same in 2024. If you don't change, nothing's going to change. Okay, you can go and read, and learn how to, get another license, go get your commission, but if you don't change, it's nothing's going to change. Like, that's just facts. That's facts. Hold Hold on, reading your does your course with attaining notary in New York? So in New York, you have an exam that you have to take with them. So we don't teach New York law. So we teach you how to build your business in New York, but you still have to take their exam. So you still need to read your handbook and know the law for your state. Everyone does need to know the law for their state, but not every state tests you on it. So California does, New York does, I think North Carolina does. Oh, they have to do a course. I don't know if they have an exam, but some of them do. So Shayna says she has a fear of being broke and homeless. Well, guess what? You can still be broke and homeless working a job. Just get laid off, see what happens. You know what I mean? And the best way, to be honest with you, the best way to take away the fear of being broke and homeless is to put your earning potential in your own hands. That's really the only way. Because if you put your earning potential in, how many times have there been really good companies, great companies, but the product is no longer needed? Like, think about Blockbuster. I'm sure Blockbuster was a great company. I don't know. But guess what? In walked Netflix, and now Blockbuster is out of here. So you could have worked for Blockbuster, and you could have been having the best time, had the best management, had the best benefits. But guess what? If that product is no longer needed by the economy, you're still out of here. So and then you know when you would know? You're going to know last. The CEO and the C-suite, they're going to know first, right? You're going to know last. They're already planning. You're going to get that 2 week, hey, hopefully 2 weeks, if not same day. Hey, listen, this is what happened. We're going to let you go, okay? The only way to truly take charge of your income and your finances is to be in charge of it, you know? And it's just like, you have to, like, a lot of us, we're not taught that. We're not taught anything about finances, like literally nothing. I'm really like diving deeper now into the whole like economy on a whole different level. And it's like things that no one talks about. Like no one talks about investing in like government bonds, right? No one talks about mortgage-backed security. No one talks about these things, right? It's so many financial tools and resources and things that no one talks about. You know, I was telling someone recently about how they can get a house without getting a mortgage. And they're like, how did you know that? I read about it. I met people, and it was just like, oh, you know, but it's just like, you're not going to learn in school. You're not going to learn from your parents unless your parents did it. You know, so if you're just going by what you learned in school and what your parents does and your friends does, who had the same kind of parents you had, you're not going to know, period. There's a reason why most people stay within the same income bracket generationally, because if you don't know, you can't teach someone. You know what I mean? I can firmly, wholeheartly, God willing, know that my kids are going to be good. You know, Laura Buer put a post out. I don't want to give the answer away, but kind of giving the answer away. Love you, Laura. Where they're doing this contest and they were asking questions. And one question said, when should you start estate planning? At what age is recommended for you to start estate planning? And most people that commented on that post said 18. Let that sink in. Most people don't plan for retirement. I'm never going to retire, so I don't plan to retire, but I plan to. That's the thing too. People always say, when do you plan to retire? Retirement to me is a term that keeps people in bondage. Retirement is when you're going to stop working to give them money not to work. Bill Gates still works to this day. Okay. Retirement, I don't like the term. I just don't like it. Jeff Bezos still works to this day. Elon Musk still works to this day. They're billionaires, right? The term retirement, I feel like, in my opinion, was given to people who were sold the American nightmare, the dream of, oh, go to college, get a job, then retire. I don't subscribe to that. I'm not doing it. Okay. But the idea of retirement is like, okay, I'm going to work enough to have enough money that I can live off that the rest of my life. But what if you make all that money? It's so much. It's the term. I just don't like it. I personally don't like it. Where was I going with this? We're going to rabbit hole of retirement. But I was going down a rabbit hole. Hold on. Let's come back to me. I was trying to tell you guys something really important. Oh, when did you start estate planning? And most people put 18 because it sounds like most people say, when should you start planning for retirement? 18, right? When you're born, when your child is born. Now, granted, when you're born, you don't know anything. The answer, period, is you should start estate planning for your children the day they're born. That's when you should start. And wealthy people do that immediately. Okay, I've started. You mean like, well, I didn't start when they were born because I didn't know, but I've started already. You know, and so if you were not taught how to do that, then you don't know. I was talking to this. Was I talking to someone? I was talking to someone about a program that was talking about stocks, and they were showing like how all of these people that had set up custodial accounts for their kids years ago, and now their children live off of their dividend payouts, right? I learned about the stock market and started investing in the stock market probably like 4 years ago. It was, what is it, 20? Yeah, like 3 to 4 years ago. I never did it because I was afraid, because it was intimidating, because it was scary, because no one in my family did it. It was like, wait, we don't talk about that. No one talks about it. No one knows. We know it exists, but that's for them. That's for them. We don't know. We don't know how to do that. But there are whole people who set their kids up with custodial accounts. By the time their kids turn 18, they're good. They get a check every year. It's a nice one, as long as they did it right. Okay, they can live off of that. It's enough to live off of. Okay, but did your parents know that? No. So how could they teach it to you? Right? There's a thing. I did a whole class about. There's this book called What Would the Rockefellers Do? And I did a whole class talking about how to use life insurance policies as an investment tool and leveraging it to pay you. You guys heard the concept of being your own bank. I did a whole class on that. And I would show people how you set it up for your kids. Like, you can do it for yourself, but if you set up your kids up right, and people have been doing this for years, they get paid every single year. Every single year, a dividend payout. That's enough for them to live. Now, I'm not saying they're going to become, like, living like a millionaire, but enough that they will be fine. Like, they will never be homeless. Okay? Enough they won't be homeless. But if you don't know that, you don't know. You just go into Wells Fargo and put your money in savings account. Do that with that 0.00001% interest rate. That sounds good. Wait on it. You'll have $100. Retire there from 0 to 18, you'll have a whole $100. Good job saving. Look at that. That was great. Hold on, guys. Oh, thank you. You're so silly. This is so good. Keep in mind, I'm complete my brain training. Fear of leaving ones behind. Therapy helped me see the fear of shedding and trimming the fat in my life, becoming comfortable with it. I love that. I will say, I don't know if it was hard for me. It wasn't hard. I just didn't do it. Like, it was, when I'm talking about like letting people go, like, it was not that it was difficult. It was more so just like I wouldn't do it. Like, it was like, but like, I wanted to move out of Virginia for a long time. And it was just like, but wait, but how? And the one thing that really made me leave is I was talking to my sister, and I said, I want to move. I want to go somewhere. And I said, I think I'll move to Florida. And she said, go. And I said, I don't know how. She looked at me and she said, yes, you do. And I was like, I do. And I was just like, so don't use that as an excuse. You're literally just not going because you're afraid. Like, you're just scared. Like, it's not even like fear of failure. It's more so just like you get so comfortable where you are. It's like, wait, what? And I will tell you, I love it here. I'm so glad I left. Well, I'm not leaving. I'm going back and forth. But yeah. Okay. Questions, because I can go on this all day. But I really just want to come on here and just like give you guys some motivation for today. Like, I feel like everyone can be successful. Like, you can. And whatever success means to you, it really is just, oh, you're welcome. Yes, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm just going through all your comments. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah. I was trying to tell you something. I squirrel a little bit. So today, tomorrow, what's today? Sunday and tomorrow. Today and tomorrow is golden ticket. Today it's $129. Tomorrow it's $299. Okay. And then also today and tomorrow is the last day to get half off of the intensive notary boot camp. So that's the 4-week training, the live 4-week training, promo code labor for that. That's on Eventbrite. But really the main thing, guys, is, I'm excited. I'm coming to Florida. I'm going to have my commission this month. Not this month, this week. So I can go out and do my loan closings and everything like that. And I'm just really excited, to grow. And, I just got my loan license in Florida. So I'm just excited for the growth. Like I just decided to just continue to expand. And I feel like all of you guys can do the same thing. It's just a matter of, truly like, you just have to work on yourself. And what I'm going to do too, I'm going to share my book list. I have a list of books that I read that helped me a lot with my self development. And then I also, when we do the morning calls, I'm going to talk about a lot of things that I do on a day to day. I was talking to someone recently, Gracie, about nutrition. And I was telling her, I was saying, it makes a major difference what you eat. Because if you don't have energy, a lot of times because what you're eating. And if you're trying to go hard and do that, we're going to talk about books in the morning. Did you guys see that morning community group? There's a morning community group. It's like $10 a month. And it's, I go live every Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 7 to 7:30. And it's going to be live into the designated Facebook group. I'm trying to see if I can find it for you. My computer's going a little slow. But I'm going to post my book list anyway. And we can do a book in there. We can do a book everyone's working on. We did it last time too. Everyone had a book that they were doing. It's called Elevated Thoughts. And we just talk about, how to work on self. But if you're trying to be a successful entrepreneur, think about a lot of them. They work out every day. They're very healthy because you need your energy. And I was watching this video recently. There's this guy. I love his content. And he just talks about what it takes to really be successful, to take massive action and kill your goals right now. And I don't think it's forever. It doesn't take forever. It takes you right now. But let's say you have one task, you want to get NNA certified, and it takes you a week, and it took me one day. Who's going to go harder? You can see who's more driven. If it takes you a week or 2 weeks, isn't that I do trainings, and I'm like, okay, guys, go get your NNA certification. You're like, okay, I'm going to make sure I get that done this month. Not this month. Do it today. This is guy I follow. He's a multi-millionaire. Alex Hermosi. He said the one thing that makes him different, his organization, is anything that needs to be done, he's always going at it with a do it today concept. So he's like, when he meets somebody, hey, let's have a meeting. Great. Want to do it today? What time you got? And most people say, okay, let's get on the books for next week or later in the week. But he's always like, how can I get it done today? And if you think about that with your business, okay, how can I get it done today? You know what I mean? It's just you're going to catapult everyone who's putting it off till tomorrow, the next week, next month, setting long-term goals. And a lot of times when you work in an employee set, you're taught to do it that way. But that's not how the way businesses grow and scale. There's nothing wrong with having plans and goals, but the sooner you can take massive, especially now when it's just you, the sooner you can take massive action on your goals, the sooner you're going to kill it. So right now, you're going to go get the golden ticket. How long is it going to take you to actually get into the course? Is it hey, I went online and bought it, but I'm going to just cook out real quick, or I'm going to go to the beach real quick, or I'm going to start next weekend because I'm off next weekend. You work 8 hours a day. Stop playing. What you doing the other 16? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? There's going to be people today who go get the golden ticket and they're going to start the courses today. There are people who go get the golden ticket and they're going to start it next month, right? You have to figure out whatever you are. It's 100% always you. If you don't have what you want in your life, it is you that is holding you back. So you have to ask yourself, it's not, and that's the thing too, guys. It's not even really, really, really hard. Some stuff I can see it be a challenge. Government contracting, I can see it being a challenge. That's one of the courses we have. If you just start off with the notary signing agent, go through that, e-notary, tax financial management, non-notary work. Start there. All that comes included, and then start building from that. But don't lollygag. Don't lollygag it up. You guys need to get, you have to find a way to put a fire underneath you to get it done. Because I think people have an unrealistic idea of time and how it moves. You have the time. Now, how you're using it is another thing. But think about it. What are you doing right now? Besides listening to me. Before I came on this live, what were you doing? You know what I mean? Were you being productive? Were you lollygagging? What's the last TV show you watched? Was it productive? Was it documentary? Or was it like, was it? I don't even know what shows are out right now. The last show that I watched, I think it was Bridgerton. That was the last show that I watched. I don't know what people are watching. I'm not saying that you can't watch TV. I'm not saying that. Some people say, oh, you can never watch TV. I'm saying, like, if you need, like, sometimes I work really hard. I need a disconnect. I can put on a TV show. Sometimes it's not TV. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to go to the beach, or I want something exhilarating. Like, I'm a big person on life experiences. Jesse Itzler, he's amazing. Watch his content. I'm gonna put his link in here too. Jesse Itzler, oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, and one thing you'll see, like, successful entrepreneurs, they all like kind of listen to the same people. They all kind of run in the same circles because birds will feather flock together, you know, and we all have pretty much read all the same books. And I'm telling you, you know, but people who, and it's levels to like where people are. It's levels to it. Don't think that you're where you are just because it's coincidence. No, you're where you are because of your habits and who you're hanging around. The mixture of the two come together, and that's where you are. Because of your habits and who you're hanging around. That's a fact. Because of your habits and who you're hanging around. Because of your habits and who you're hanging around. Say it again. Because of your habits and who you're hanging around. Because of your habits and who you're hanging around. Because of your habits. Other thing too. Oh, what's his name? Peterson. I want to say Joseph, but it's not. Jordan Peterson. He did a talk where he said, sit down in your bed, sit down for a second, and ask yourself, what are 3 things, the biggest 3 things that I am doing that's hurting me or hurting my goals? What are 3 things that I'm doing that I know I'm doing that's hurting my goals or hurting me? And it's not hard to come up with. If you stop right now, you come up with it. I have my 3. Watch. I have my 3. My 3 are not working out enough. I'm not working out enough. I'm not being my peak healthy state. Now I'm a lot healthier than I was, but I'm not being at my peak. And being at my peak is going to help me produce more and it's going to give me better. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to feel better about myself. There's so much that me being more healthy is going to help me with. And that's a choice. It's a choice to be unhealthy. You know, and so that's number 1. Number 2 would probably be not going as hard as I could. I got some idle time. And it's not like idle. It's not like you're not killing it. Like you're not killing it. Like here's my life where I like killed it. Like stayed up 2 days straight. And I'm just like 2 days straight. But it's like my execution is not where it needs to be. My execution is not where it needs to be. Period. And then my networking is not where it needs to be, period. If I change those 3 things, I would destroy everything, okay? I'd be a monster. I'd be Elon Musk, okay? Be healthy, work my butt off, harder than I'm going now, and network and meet as many people as I possibly can that are in where I need to be going. If I just did those 3 things, honey, I'm winning. I'll be winning more. What are your 3 things? And it's not hard to think of it. What are 3 things that you're doing or not doing that's hurting you? And you know, don't you? If you know your 3 things and you want to share them, put them in the chat. And a lot of times we don't like to say it's us because if you say it's you, then you're the bad guy. And we don't want to be the bad guys. We want to blame everybody else because that's more fun, right? Blame everybody else is more fun. It's more convenient. Yeah. It feels better when it's not us because we're so sweet and we're so nice and we're so perfect and the world is mean to us. Oh, shame on us. Oh, so sad. No. Okay. Procrastination is a thief of time. Okay. So what I want you guys to take from this mainly is go back, think about what you're doing. How can you change it? Procrastination, distractions. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people you were talking about. If you bought the course years ago, do you need to rebuy the course or should you buy additional courses separately? So if you bought courses, you should still have them on your dashboard because you have lifetime access. If you get the golden ticket, then it adds any of the other courses that you're missing. Okay, but if you don't see them on your student dashboard, just send me an email, info@notary to notary. Sometimes think if it will time out on you if you don't log in, and I have to refresh your dashboard. Health, that's a big one. We gotta start doing better with our health. Like seriously, that's not even a game. Like your quality of life, even if you make a bunch of money, like if your quality of life sucks, you're not even enjoying yourself. You know, like it's really important to be in good health. The new exam is not out, but it will be out this weekend. I have one more day. But stay on me, Ashley. Matter of fact, make sure I get that done today. See? I have to go back and do a few more questions, and then we'll be good. It will be out before I go to sleep. Worst case tomorrow. Not putting in a track clause. Yeah, I'm like Vanessa. She's a little cuckoo. I am a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. By tomorrow for sure, but I'm gonna hold myself to today. I'm gonna hold myself to today and make sure it gets out. Not by Wednesday. Don't add crutches to me, Ashley. Okay? No. Tomorrow. It's gonna be by tomorrow, but I'm holding myself that it's gonna get done today. It's gonna go out today. I got it. We're in there. We're in there together. Look at that. Teamwork. I love it. Okay. Fear. Okay, so how are you gonna work on your fear, Val? What's your plan? Like you need a plan. You can't just say, "Oh, this is what's happening." What's your plan to fix it? You gotta have a plan. If you don't have a plan, it's gonna stay around. You know, go face some of those fears. Write what you're scared of. Find someone to do it with you if you need some support, and get out there and do it. As long as it's not gonna kill you, then get out there and knock it out. Not making more money, and not forgetting the first two. Wait a minute. Well, then get to work, Carlos. Get to work. I don't think you're working hard enough, sir. I need you to work harder. I need you to work harder. Work harder and work smarter. Okay? Period. Okay? Cash flow is my issue. Get more cash and make it flow, Sheila. Okay? Listen. Get more cash and make it flow. There is no excuses. We get it done. Get it done. And if you don't know how to get it done, then research and learn how to get it done. There is no problem that you have that someone on this planet has not already had and wrote a book about. That I can guarantee you. Okay? A book, a podcast, or a YouTube video. There is nobody on this planet who was here before or here now, who did not have the same problem that you have. And they figured it out. So go talk to them and figure out how they did it. Period. No excuses. Or don't talk to them and keep the problem. But just know that it's on you because you didn't talk to them and you know, it was your fault you didn't level up. Look at that. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's on that side. Okay. What about the little, what do you call it? The little flower came up out of that, you know? Oh, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. Okay, a little mushroom came out, the little question mark. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. It's okay. All right, guys. That's all Super Clock on the Wall. Let me give you guys the links to, we're having a apostille training too on the 16th. If you missed the one earlier last month, that's on there. The golden ticket gives you all 18 courses or any courses that you're missing off the 18 list. I learned to my uncle pushed me off the dog and I didn't drown. I'm getting that girl back. Honey, my dad did the same thing. My dad walked me out to the beach in Coney Island. I'm from New York. In Coney Island, he took me all the way back. My dad's really tall, and he took me all the way back to where his head was up here, and he dropped me. I don't know. Back in the day, that's how we taught our kids how to swim. That's how they taught us how to swim. He took me all the way back there, and he dropped me. And I promise you, I don't remember. I remember him dropping me. I don't remember from the point when he dropped me to the point when I was walking onto the sand. That whole situation, I don't remember any of that. That's crazy. I don't. I just remember the point of dropping and the point of getting to the sand. That's it. That's pretty funny. I don't know. I don't remember that. I remember you can see him clear as day because I was holding onto his shoulders. I could see him clear as day. The water was up here. I remember that was it. I don't remember the drop. I just remember that I was dropped. I remember when I got to the curb, to the sand. I remember that. But anywho, yeah, that's pretty funny. That's how, see, I don't think nowadays they'd be like, you did what? You did what to what? throw them in there. People like, no. Don't drop your kids in the water. Okay, put the link for the golden ticket in there. I think that was it, right? It was golden ticket and then the class that's coming out. I remember being underwater. I opened my eyes and figured out how to get up. You better than me. I don't remember any of it. Not one moment. Until I got to the sand. That was it. All right, guys. Be great on purpose. You too can be six-figure notary signing agents. Get into training. Do the work. Start figuring out what some of those habits are that you have that's holding you back. And reach out to me if you have questions. When you're in the course, you can ask them on the student dashboard. You can email them to me, info@notarytonotary.com. You can call us. Not tomorrow. We are closed tomorrow. Okay. But Tuesday through Saturday, you can give us a call if you have questions as well. And you are so very welcome. And I will see you guys luego. Until next time, happy signing. And I probably will go live again later today for sure. We're doing some training. If not today, then tomorrow. For sure.
Interested in working remotely from home with the ability to set your own schedule? Then contact Notary to Notary. Our online training program teaches individuals everywhere how to create and run successful notary businesses nationwide. Whether you're looking for supplemental or full-time income, we'll teach you the benefits of being a business owner, including time and financial freedom. Visit Notary to Notary.